It is Halloween time and ghosts are not the only spooky thing. Real life experiences and real life instances can cause us to run and shake uncontrollably of fear. This is because sometimes things in life that are so real and can happen to anybody at any instance is what really makes something terrifying. Just knowing that something could go wrong at any minute. And today I am referring to the scary side of traveling. What people don't usually show or talk about. Yes, as beautiful as traveling is, it can also be dangerous. And today I'm going to be talking about the dark side of traveling. Hello everybody, my fellow travelers. I am Big Daddy Quinn and today I'm going to be telling you some cautionary tales about my travels and some kind of crazy things that have happened to me while on the road or in another country. So if that is something you are interested in today, then please keep watching. You are going to want to hear this. And at the end, I will be giving my safety tips on how you can stay safe while traveling. So I think I'm going to put this in order from least scary to scariest experience, starting with kind of just probably on a scale of least terrifying to most terrifying that has happened. So starting with my first story, this one is going to be kind of an overall topic on drugs, okay? When you are going to a different country, I know it may seem like a no-brainer, but you just never know. Don't bring yourself in a situation where drugs are involved ever, because things can turn scary really fast when it comes to illegal substances. I'm going to give an example of when I went to Jamaica. The person I was traveling with for the first time while I was there, our driver actually offered us some weed and said he would sell us some weed. So we thought, oh, well, I mean, when in Jamaica, you speak what does it say? The ganja. Okay, whatever. Anyway, you think of weed when you go to Jamaica for sure. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we thought he already had it with him in that moment, but while we were in the car on the way to our hotel, he randomly turned around and took a different route than to our actual hotel. This was absolutely terrifying. We had first just entered the country and here we are in a car that changed routes on our way to our hotel because we said yes to this marijuana. Terrible idea. It was so scary. We start going into this neighborhood. It was definitely very run down and it was a little scary. He pulled up to this house. This had a group of guys standing outside, and in my head, I automatically was thinking, this is it. This is it. This is when I die. This is when I get kidnapped. When I tell you that my heart was beating and I really thought something was about to go wrong, it was. I was so scared. He ended up getting out of the car, going inside, talking to these guys, and then he comes back into the car and we drive off and go to our hotel. Yes, I know nothing really happened essentially, but in that moment that was very terrifying because anything could have happened. He could have pulled us and took us to an isolated location and we would have never been heard from again. Luckily, that was not the case. I'm still here today. Hello. So just be wary of that. Another instance is when I was in Panama. My boyfriend and I were at a rooftop bar and we met a couple of people who were really fun and they just seemed super cool. They were from like different Latin American countries. One was from Colombia, one was from Costa Rica. It's pretty cool, right? Until things got a little weird the moment they started to sell us. If you know, you know. And we were like, no, it's fine. And this girl just kept pushing it. She definitely gave me a very weird vibe. Nothing ever really turned out from it because we kept denying it, but something was definitely off. There was also another point where she tried to sell her friend to us for the night. It was a very weird situation, so I definitely don't recommend anything. Anytime someone offers you drugs or anything, I would just stay clear. So yeah, that is probably like the least experience that I had, but okay, moving on. I just want to throw out there that anything in this video could happen to anybody in any country, no matter where you are in the world, whether that be in the US, in Asia, Europe, Africa, South America. Things like this could happen no matter what. And the whole point of my video is to teach you how you can prevent them and use my stories as a way to be smart about your decisions. My next story is going to be about the time my sister got robbed in Paris. Robbed? Wow, you're probably thinking like the Kim Kardashian type rob. No. This was more like a pickpocket scandal. Not as scary, but it really opens your eyes to how smart a lot of people are and how easy it is to be taken advantage of. People can take advantage of you so easily, especially if you don't know the language, don't know the area, and don't know the overall culture. You have a target on your back. This story happened in Paris. We were coming back from Disneyland Paris. We were on the metro. As it was late at night because the park had just closed, so it was around 10 p.m. Me and my sisters, it was me and then my two sisters. Of course, we looked like major tourists. Mickey Mouse ears, Mickey Mouse apparel, everything. Like, we were definitely not from there, okay? We just were happy. We just had an amazing day at Disney. And all of a sudden, this young girl, probably about 20 years old, comes up as we were entering the metro, and she steps on the metro with us as if she was getting on the metro, and she starts talking to my sister in French. Just starts blabbling on about I have no idea. And she just starts pointing to like different maps on the metro, confused and lost, like just probably like we were just trying to understand what she was saying, but I just had a really bad feeling. So I like immediately like covered my stuff and made sure that everything was close to my body. However, the sister she was mostly focused on, I was keeping an eye on her stuff at the same time. So I'm over here holding my stuff and watching my sister's stuff. All the while, I forget about this sister who's just confused and watching what's happening over here. This all happened in a span of probably 2 minutes. This girl ends up running out of the metro before the door shut, and she manages to throw the wallet back through the door. Luckily, she left all my sister's cards and wallet behind, but took probably $300 worth of cash from her wallet. So how they did this was she had an accomplice. While we were being distracted over here, my sister over here, even though she had a fanny pack right in front of her, this person managed to go into her fanny pack, open it, grab the wallet, take out the cash, and they made a run for it. All without us noticing it in 2 minutes, and threw the wallet back. I'm not sure if throwing the wallet back was intentional or not, but we're very thankful she at least let us keep our cards. So that is another thing. Beware of scams when you go places. Scams are absolutely everywhere. I know there's a clipboard scam also in Paris that I have seen people try to pull on us, but immediately we learned our lesson and we say no. No, no, no. If anyone offers you anything, it's a no. If anyone tries to talk to you in a weird, sketchy way, it's a no, because it's not worth it, especially in crowded places. And the clipboard scam is kind of similar. One person tells you about this fundraiser they're trying to do, all while the person they're with is stealing from you while you're distracted. Like, people have trained and practiced to be these scam artists. And some of them are the best of the best in some of these countries, so be wary. Hi, I'm interrupting this program by saying you should follow me on Instagram. I post stuff about travel and lifestyle, so if that's something you want to see, go ahead and follow now. Back to the video. All right, so next story up on my list, we are going to be talking about the time I went to Medellin. Even though a lot of people say that this city is technically supposed to be very, very dangerous, all of because the stigma around Pablo Escobar and the drug traffickers. But that is not the case at all. Actually, other than this experience, I felt extremely safe and I had a wonderful time. It is one of my favorite cities. Go ahead and watch this video right here if you are interested in learning more about what to do in Medellin, because there's so much to do and see. Anywho, that is not what this video is about. This is actually about the time I went to a club in Medellin, and there are two different parts of Medellin that you can party in. There's Laureles or Parquilleras. And Laureles is where all of the locals tend to party. That's where mostly bars, and I had such a great time. I felt very safe. It was really fun, and I didn't feel any bits of bad at all in that area. But oddly enough, the time I went to Parquilleras, which was geared more towards tourists, it was more expensive. Definitely a lot of people from different countries are there, and it was a lot more crowded for sure. When I went to this part of Medellin to check out the nightlife, we went to this club, and it was a pretty big club. It was underground, so you had to take stairs underground in order to get to it, and then you see like a bar area near the entrance, and then you see the whole club. So it was pretty crowded. My boyfriend and I were struggling to find a spot to dance in, and finally we find a really good spot. We're like, okay, we're staying here because this is a really good spot. Finally, after being pushed and shoved by all these people. So we start dancing, we're vibing, we're hanging out, and I kind of noticed a group of guys, about 3 guys nearby, and they were just eyeing me down. They just were staring. You just see everyone dancing around them, and they're just staring. I kind of thought, like, that's strange. I will just be aware of my surroundings. I can't get too drunk. I just need to be alert because I'm getting weird vibes. So the night progresses, and we were just dancing, have a good time, and of course it was bound to happen. One of us had to go to the bathroom, and that one was me. Yeah, so I end up going to the bathroom. It's fine. We were near the bathroom. My boyfriend saves the spot. No biggie. I go to the bathroom. It's fine. I notice at the corner of my eyes, these guys start heading towards the bathroom as well. Strange. Whatever. Go to the bathroom, use it, do my business, and I come back out, look for my boyfriend. Oh, we're here together again. We're dancing some more. La la la. Time passes. Oh, my boyfriend has to use the bathroom now. Like, oh, great. And he's like, oh, are you gonna be okay if you're right here? Like, can I go like really quick? You gonna be okay? And I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll be fine. I'm good. I'll just move closer to the bathroom, so that way I'm a little closer to you, if anything. And he's like, okay, great. And I notice he goes to his bathroom. A minute or two passes, and these group of guys come closer to me. Much closer. I kind of notice them there, and they're just still staring, coming close. Now I see them kind of smiling at me, trying to get my attention. I pretend to ignore it, and I just keep going on with my business, ignoring them. They kind of start approaching even more and try to talk to me. And this is when I'm like, no gracias. Like, of course they were speaking Spanish. I have basic Spanish skills, and I tried to like get away from them. Finally, my boyfriend comes out, and they see him come out, and they kind of skedaddle. I tell my boyfriend what happens, and he's like, oh, that's a little strange. Okay, we'll just, keep an eye out for them. I don't think it really seemed like a big deal to him in that moment, but probably just thought it was some guys trying to hit on me, okay? But the night progresses, we're dancing, we're cool, and we're like, oh, you know what? I think it's time for a drink break. I think it's been a hot minute since we had a drink. Let's go grab one. And we had such a good spot in that moment. We really didn't want to lose this spot. Like I said, it was a super, super crowded club. We were close to a table, and the people we were around were really fun. So we decided maybe one of us should stay and one of us should go get the drink. So we talk about it. We're like, okay, Who should stay and who should go? Well, my boyfriend said the last time you stayed here, those guys came up to you. So maybe you should go get the drinks. And I was like, you know, that's a great idea. That makes so much sense. Maybe I'll go get the drinks. And so I end up walking away to the bar and I notice those same guys come out and they're following me again. And they follow me out to the bar area. And I noticed them almost immediately. When I noticed them is when I had just ordered my drink and I was waiting for the bartender to hand it to me, and they came over to me. And they start talking to me and they're asking me what my name was and they were asking me where I was from. I also didn't, want them to know that where I was from. I didn't want them to know that didn't speak amazing Spanish, so I tried to keep my vocals to a minimum and just tried to make it feel like, I'm from the area. I know people here, They kept talking to me and I was just really trying very hard to ignore them. But they kept persisting and I got very uncomfortable. My drink ended up coming out and they just start eyeballing my drink like crazy. And one guy is trying to talk to me constantly while the other one's eyeballing my drink. And I noticed all of this happening. And I'm not dumb. I know what they're trying to do. Y'all are trying to put some shiz in my drink. And this is not happening to me. Not now, not ever. Okay? So I grab my drink almost immediately. I put my hand over it and I pull it towards me. And he's asking, oh, what are you drinking? Can I see? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. That's all I keep saying. It's like, no. No puedo hablar contigo. I can't talk to you. I'm so sorry. Actually, I didn't even apologize. I just said, I can't talk to you right now. No. I was just like, I have to go. They kept insisting and pushing. And finally, I think the bartender started noticing what was going on and noticed I was getting very uncomfortable and that I was trying to leave. So suddenly the bartender butts in and is like, can I help you with something? Can I get you guys something? What do you guys need? And they immediately look over and they're just like, oh, yeah. We're gonna blah, blah, I don't know, whatever. And that's when I dip. That was my opening. And I was like, oh, thank Jesus. I was like, thank goodness. And I dart out of there. I immediately head straight to my boyfriend. And I had to set my drink down on this table for a moment on the way back to make sure that my card was, that I had my card with me. And as soon as I found my card, I picked my drink up off the table again. And while I was walking away from this table, this big guy, and he had long hair, he grabs me and pulls me and yanks me and is like, you stealing from us? Are you stealing from us? Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. And I'm terrified out of my mind. And I was just like, no. And I am having a hard time explaining myself because obviously like my Spanish was so. And I was just like, no. Like, it was my drink. I'm trying to tell him it's my drink. And they're like, no, are you stealing our alcohol from us off our table? I was like, no, it's my drink. I wasn't stealing anything. He's like, what's in your hand? I was like, this is my card. And they were just like, and this person just wasn't believing me. And finally, this girl came up who spoke a little more English. I tried to explain to her that I wasn't stealing, that I just had to put my drink down for a second. I picked it up and she explained everything to her friend. And that was just the scariest thing ever, especially right after that incident. And then this happens right after it. I was really scared. My heart was going 1,000 miles per minute. I was like, one bad thing after another. Can you believe that? I go back to my boyfriend, so scared, tell him everything that happens, tell him I'm really scared right now. I kind of want to leave. And yeah, we ended up leaving early that night. We hung out for a little bit, but that was that. It was really scary, really sketchy. Someone almost tried to beat me up because I thought I was stealing. Someone was trying to drug me. Oh God, what a night. But yes, Okay, and now that I finished that story, we are going into my final story. And this one didn't happen to me per se. This happened to my mom and my sisters. And this was in the Philippines, actually. I was in the Philippines during this time, but I was with my friends. I was hanging out with either friends or family. And my mom and my two sisters were at a mall in Manila. They went shopping in the mall. After that, I think my sister had gotten her teeth done because it's super cheap, it's super cheap to get your veneers done in different countries. So the Philippines, of course, my mom was like, took the opportunity to get my sister's teeth done. They go to the appointment, she has her whole thing done, and they were there for quite a long time. And while the sun was setting, they ended up leaving. My mom was borrowing my aunt's car at the time. They got into their car and they just start driving off. They didn't really notice anybody following them or anybody sketchy while they were out and about, but they noticed when they were pulling out of the parking lot, a big white van was following them. My mom noticed it at first, didn't think much of it, and they were really just tailing them. And so my sister was like, Mom, why don't you just go let them pass? Let them pass. And my mom was like, okay. So my mom changes lanes to let this van pass. But when my mom changed lanes, so did the van. And that's when they knew, oh my God, this van is following us. They probably spotted them in the mall, saw how many shopping bags they had, and also obviously they could afford veneers type deal. So to them, that's just screaming somebody with money. They are driving and my mom tries to skirt them, and this car is just following, it's just persisting. And so finally, thank God, there was a toll on the freeway, and my mom gets to this toll and tells the people at the toll booth while she's paying, hey, look, these people behind me, I think they're following us. I need you to stall them so we can get away. They comply and they're like, oh my God, okay, we got you. So my mom drives off as fast as she can to get away from them, and this van is stopped right behind them for a good hot minute. So those toll people, thank you so much. I don't know what would have happened if it wasn't for you guys. My mom did end up getting away and they lost out of the van after that. But that is super duper scary. And that is not something that has ever happened to any of us. And I've lived in the Philippines for many years and that has never been a thing. So it just shows that anything can happen at any time. Now that I've told you all of those scary experiences from traveling, I'm going to give you some safety tips so that you can avoid anything like this happening to you. Because I want you guys all to be safe and sound, please. Also, I am putting out a huge disclaimer here. I am not discouraging anybody from traveling, because traveling is one of the most amazing, beautiful things you can experience, and I don't think you should ever be afraid to do so. And that's why I'm giving you these safety tips, because you can stay safe no matter where you go, as long as you just follow these rules, and you will be fine and dandy, and you will have the most amazing, wonderful experience of your life. At least I do. Okay, so my first tip for you today is don't be flashy. Don't flash all your jewelries or your Prada or your Gucci bag, okay? Don't even wear your Apple Watch, especially if you're going to third world countries where that is not very widely known or seen, even in large cities. Okay, some people avoid doing it. If other people aren't doing it, don't do it. If you see other people don't have those things, you don't have those things as far as they know, okay? So leave that at home. Leave it in your hotel room. Don't bring it out. Okay, and that leads me into my next tip. Try to blend in with the locals. Kind of try to see what are the other locals wearing. Maybe do your research ahead of time. How can you not stand out? A lot of the places that I know can tell tourists like apart from everyone else because of how they dress. They wear t-shirts, shorts, and sandals. That is such a tourist thing to do. Kind of looking to see what is the latest fashion for that country. See if you're with the flow. Try to blend in and not stick out. I know sticking out can tend to be an amazing thing, but sometimes if it's gonna keep you safe, then blend in. Okay, next is wear a money belt. If you've seen my Travel 101 to Europe video, you'll see that money belt is on one of there. This being because they are usually thinner and not like regular fanny packs. They have actual belts where you can like hide money in it. You can put money in different parts of your body. And so that way, if something does happen to one stash of your money, you have other stashes. Hello, yes. Smart thinking, use that noggin. And another thing is you can keep it super close to your body. So example, when I was in Paris, I was totally safe because I had my money belt and it was very close to my body. So it was a lot harder to get to, and I can also put my jacket over it as well. So it was much safer, much more convenient, and the one I have is RFID protection. And the next tip is going to be, it might seem like a no-brainer, but like I said earlier, people fall for it, and that's the scams. If anybody offers you anything for free, girl, it is not for free. Don't listen to them. They're lying to you, okay? Nothing in this world is ever for free. Let's be honest. There's always a price. So let's just not find out what that price is, okay? Okay, and then next is don't get into sketchy taxis. If there's no license plate number, if the taxi isn't matching the other taxis in the area, if you go in and their meter is broken, those are all just signs of faulty taxis. You don't want it. Don't even risk it. So if there is something wrong, you need to look to see ahead of time for the country you're in, what kind of licenses do these taxis have on their cars, or specific colors, because there are specific colors that they have to make it an official taxi. So, or just opt for taking Uber. Uber's almost everywhere, or every country has its own version of Uber. It's way safer and just way better overall. This one might also seem like a no-brainer, but don't take drinks from strangers. If you had just met the person and you'd have no idea who they are, and they're like, oh, this person's so cool, they're buying me a drink, oh, how amazing. If the bartender didn't make it right in front of you and hand it to you themselves, don't drink that shit. You don't know what they did to that, okay? People get drugged all the time because people are so clueless. You need to be aware, especially if you are somewhere foreign and somewhere new. Don't take those risks. Make sure you are only accepting drinks that are handed to you by the bartender themselves. And the next tip is don't walk late at night. Just take an Uber, okay? Scary things happen when the sun goes down. Even sometimes before the sun goes down, but even more so when it's down. And this is because people think they can get away with more when it's dark outside. And this is actually true. So make sure you are always using the buddy system when you are walking around, and playing smart and playing safe by taking Uber when need be. And the next tip on my list is always have a charged phone. Your phone is there for emergencies. Always, always, always make sure your phone is charged. And if you have a phone that dies all the time, get a battery pack. Those are so necessary. That way, if your phone is running low on juice, you can go ahead and plug it in to your portable charger, and boom, you got full battery again. And the next and very last on my list is when you get into a rideshare, Uber, taxi, bus, whatever it is, make sure that you are not falling asleep. Or if you are with someone you know, make sure one of you is at least awake to keep an eye on the other person. Because I've heard horror stories of people waking up and they are in some strange place, or they wake up and all their stuff is gone, and they get out of the car and they realize, oh, where's my phone? Where's my wallet? It's gone. Oh no, it's because I fell asleep. Make sure you stay awake during that, because because you are easily taken advantage of when asleep. Okay, well, that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this. I am Big Daddy Quinn, and I do all things travel, lifestyle, and everything to fit your entertainment needs. So if that is something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe now and hit that notification bell icon for more videos like this. All right, I'll see you in the next one, my fellow travelers. Big Daddy out.